of the League of Women Voters of San Diego, and I would like to thank all of you for coming to be with us tonight, and especially thank you for those who made a donation when you registered for tonight's event. It's been 3 years since the pandemic forced us to switch to Zoom for our committee meetings, our candidate forums, and our ballot talks. And it's so nice to be able to spend time with you in person. So, celebrating the League's 87th anniversary tonight. Since my term as president began in summer of 2021, the League has engaged in an in-depth study which led to the adoption of a new position on policing practices. And we organized a coalition to support Measure B, which gave the City Council the authority to set fair trash fees. And we've stepped up advocacy on housing and land use. We had record viewings of our ballot measure pros and cons video in November, and we began registering voters in parole day centers and reentry facilities. We recently worked with the Public Defender's Office to register voters at pop-up resource fairs and homeless court. This year, we hope to have more in-person events. Next month, we'll be back at Tom Ham's Lighthouse. Yes, our old tradition of monthly luncheons there. We're going to be featuring a talk on gun violence prevention, so I hope you all can join us for that event on April 19. We'll also be doing a webinar next month on key issues before the Supreme Court. The work we do is made possible by volunteers, and I'd like to thank our board of directors and our committee chairs, especially Jean Widener, our voter empowerment director, Ruth Sandman, our sustainability and environmental action chair, Vicki Riggs, who never says no to me and agreed to lead our nominating committee this year, Jane Andrews, our events director, and Ashley Rodriguez, who planned this event. As most of you know, the League of Women Voters works at the local, state, and national levels, and our focus is making democracy work. We advocate, educate, and litigate to protect voting rights, improve elections, ensure fair redistricting, and reduce the role of money in politics. Yeah, tell me about it. For example, the League wrote an amicus brief on Moore v. Harper, the Supreme Court case about state-level gerrymandering. And the League has been a vocal supporter of the Equal Rights Amendment since it was introduced in 1972.
All right.
These days, right? At the state level, the League advocates for bills on voting rights, as well as affordable housing, climate change, immigration, and reproductive rights. On the November ballot, we endorsed Prop 1, which amended the state constitution to explicitly grant the right to an abortion and contraceptives. One of the things I like best in this position is my ability to collaborate with other community-based organizations in San Diego. If you're affiliated with an organization that has partnered with the League, will you please raise your hand? So happy to see friends here from the Registrar of Voters, Alliance San Diego, Indivisible, ACLU, Environmental Health Coalition, San Diego Coastkeeper, and many more. We're delighted to have in attendance tonight staff members representing State Senate President Pro Tem Atkins, Assemblymember Chris Ward, Tasha Berner Horvath, Akila Weber, David Alvarez, and San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. In attendance themselves, we are honored to have San Diego City Council President Sean Elo-Rivera and City Council members Jennifer Campbell, Raul Campillo, and Joe LaCava. We look forward to continued partnerships with everyone here tonight and with others whose principles align with ours. If you're interested in becoming a League member, please grab a brochure. There's a little table up there, and join us. Now, I'd like to introduce San Diego City Council President Sean Elo-Rivera.
Thank you, Kim. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here. Really appreciate being able to share this celebration with you all. Again, my name is Sean Elo-Rivera. I represent San Diego City Council District 9 and also have the pleasure of serving as the San Diego City Council President. I just want to say thank you to the League. And I'll start with a story. First, 3-4 months in office, the Voice of San Diego was holding an event, and there was a conversation around city policies, and much to the chagrin of my staff, I blurted out that the People's Ordinance was trash and it needed to go. And it's a comment that others had made, and Councilmember LaCava had said it in a lot more eloquent terms than I did. Councilmember Campbell said it a lot like I did, actually. People immediately said, "You're out of your mind. You are crazy." Multiple people told my chief of staff, "Why is your boss trying to commit political suicide already?" But one really important group didn't think that we were crazy for launching that fight, for putting our head down and thinking that we could do it, and it was the League of Women Voters. And that was so important because the League of Women Voters has credibility in the community in a way that very few organizations have. And I know that from my time, not just as a council member, but prior, when I worked in community-based organizations in organizing and advocacy. When I was at Mid-City Can in City Heights, and we were really trying to ramp up our voter engagement efforts, the League of Women Voters is one of the first organizations that we thought about to partner with. Because we said, I'm going to say how we said in the office, those ladies love voting. They love voting. And they will be really helpful in helping us register folks to vote and turn them out, because you believe in democracy. You truly believe in democracy. And Kim, when I was thinking about who it is that you're working to register to vote now, folks who have been justice involved, people who are living on the streets, people who society either does not see or chooses to turn their head and try to ignore, it's so important that we register them to vote and get them to vote, because their voices matter and are so important and are often left out. And that immediate thought of the League of Women Voters that we had when I was at Mid-City Can is exactly why you all have the credibility that you have to have really hard conversations with community about things that need to change. Because they know that you're showing up for the right reasons. There's no agenda beyond wanting democracy and just society in general to work better than it does today. And I just want to say thank you to the League for doing the work, not just doing the work, but doing the work the way you do, in a way that earns trust and maintains trust. That's so hard to do, and it's especially hard to do now. You've been able to maintain trust and integrity in a time when folks automatically assume the worst about people who have a different opinion than them. And so I'm truly, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you for doing the work that you do the way you do it, because it really matters and is like the glue that's barely holding this democracy together. Thank you. So with that, just congratulations on the anniversary that you're celebrating, and I am really proud to hand it off to my partner. I'm not going to say crime because that's what Carl DeMille would want us to call it. My partner in equity and justice in getting the People's Ordinance revised and improved, Joe LaCava.
Thank you, Council President. Even though we're not at City Hall, I'll still call you Council President. But it is so exciting to be back in person with the League now that we're coming out of the pandemic, and I was so honored to have the invite coming here. I want to build on what the Council President said. The partnership in tackling Measure B, the People's Ordinance, was such a powerful moment in this city's history. As he said, people thought we couldn't do it, that we were crazy, that it was the third rail of politics. I'll tell you in November 2024 whether it is the third rail, because I know the district or the precinct that I live in was one of the biggest no votes across the city. So we'll find out how it goes. But as I like to tell people, one of the greatest indications of the compelling story that the league had been carrying for so many years and never gave up, and that patience and persistence, as I like to call it, is such a powerful tool that says, okay, we're not going to get it this time, but we're not going to forget. We're going to bring it back. We're going to find the elected officials that will put themselves out there to do these big ideas and make a difference in who we are as a city. So thank you to the league for doing that over and over and over again. The other thing I also want to talk about, because my history with the league is a little bit different than my colleagues. It goes back to my days when I was before I got elected, more of the community activist going forward. And I can remember being invited to league forums down at Tom Ham's for so many panels. And as the council president said, that's really what separated you out, is you became such a trusted voice. You did take strong positions on a number of issues and helped drive them forward, but you also were a trusted resource. Some of you may remember the Soccer City ballot measure. I was on the no on Soccer City. I still have the billboards in my garage. But you constructed a forum that was very objective, brought both sides of the table, gave everybody a chance to make their case, and for an overflow. I almost didn't get into that meeting because it was such an overflowing meeting, but you really held it in such a way that was so important to really get away from the mailers we get and the TV ads that we saw, but to put it in a really good format. It was such a powerful thing, and I know you've done that for so many other issues. So thank you for that extra work. And just the relentlessness of which the league goes after things over and over again. The volunteer work that you do is so important. I didn't realize that I had a big fan who watches my environment committee every month, so I'm going to step up my game a little bit in terms of what we do. Be prepared. This month it's going to be an evening meeting, so we're trying to figure out how we can get some people to show up down at City Council chambers for an evening meeting. So I'm not going to give you any clues, but we'll keep it interesting. But again, happy anniversary. Thank you for keeping an organization going so long. And it's the strength of that organization and the individuals and the collection of individuals working together that makes for such a powerful organization. We can't thank you enough for the good work you do over and over again. Happy anniversary. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Councilmember LaCava. We really appreciate all four of the council members being here tonight, and each and every one of you for joining us. My name is Ashley Rodriguez. I am a fairly new board member to the league. I did plan tonight, so I'm really glad I have to give a big shout out to Jane and the events committee, though. They were on the outreach front and making sure all of you knew about tonight. And again, I think the word relentless is so perfect for the league. It's just, they never failed to show up, right? And so thank you all for showing up tonight. Why did we host tonight? Of course, it's the 87th anniversary. We want to celebrate. Also, is there not a good excuse to throw a good party anymore? I mean, geez, we went too long without each other. So very happy for that. But I've long admired the League of Women Voters. I was at that Soccer City presentation. It was objective. It was packed to the brim. And so I've long benefited from the things I've learned from them, from the legislation they've worked to pass. And I'm truly honored to be part of the organization and glad you're all here to support it again. It is a well-oiled machine. It is a compassion-filled membership. And you're supporting by being here and with your membership so the work to continue. And while we're here to celebrate the past, I also really want to encourage each of you to think about how you can invest in the future. In the future of the league. I think we've got big dreams of not just continuing the relentless work that we do through the volunteers that we have, but also maybe hiring staff. The capacity, dreams, right? And all of you could help us do that. We're really not that far off from hiring our first staff person, and a little investment from each of you could go a long way in making that happen. So thank you again to all of you for being here, to all the League of Women, the voters, the board members, the volunteers. Thank you. Please give Kim a big thank you, and the past leaders. Lori Thiel, where's Lori? Daryl Plum, Daryl, the heartbeat of the league. Jane, Jeannie, Janie. There's many Janes, but all the J's. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations to you all. There are QR codes on most of your tables, and we've got the website. You can go visit us there and donate. Please invest in our future and can continue celebrating our past today. Good night.